Alright guys, so here's the Jeep in all its glory for what it is. We're going to be starting this rebuild pretty shortly here, and this will be the first video kind of kicking it off, giving you guys some insight on where everything is at. But essentially we've begun stripping out the interior. If you saw previous videos, we were having some water getting in here, and quite a bit actually. I didn't really want it to sit with the carpet and just start rusting everything out. So I pulled all the interior for the most part, so at least the what I can't mop up can dry. So it's been like this for a few months. I'm still working through like where the leaks are and everything. Not super concerned. I think I'll get to that when I get to that. We're getting out of winter now, so it wasn't a wet season, luckily. We do have the wall stripped out. And I was originally gonna like rebuild all the subs for this and like put it back together, but I keep changing my mind, and I think I've decided that at this point I'm just going to rebuild the whole damn thing, and it's going to take as long as I feel like. So this series of videos will probably last a long time. I don't know how quickly I'll upload, but I mean, we could be talking a year before this thing's back up and running, but I want to do it right. And I've rebuilt this thing so many times now that I know exactly what I want. So I'm going to just spend my time and really go for the things I want. And a list of that would be, basically, I want less weight and I want to be louder, which involves getting rid of my AGM batteries, going lithium, which I've got that set up. I want to push the wall forward, have it smaller, so that's going to involve going back to a ported enclosure instead of a 6th order. So we'll be going to flat wall. I don't listen to it very much, like, for music. I mean, I hardly drive this thing unless it's for a show, and I'd rather it be louder for a show, and still be able to demo, of course, than to actually sound, you know, as flat of a response as 6th order or play as low. I'm not super concerned about that anymore, so the flat wall makes good sense. It will be a smaller enclosure, it will be louder, and I'll have more room back here. So that's kind of my thoughts. We'll get into in future videos exactly where that goes, because first thing is going to be pulling all this out. So you can see I got a lot of the equipment out of the back, and pretty bare. So I'm going to sort through all this wiring, probably pull it all out of the vehicle. I'm basically planning to strip the whole vehicle down, then go ahead with finding out leaks and where everything's coming in. So that's kind of the plans there. But we'll be going through it. I think I'm going to strip all the sound deadener out of the cab. I want to go Vibraflex on everything, really stiffen up the floorboards. Probably pull the dash out, do the whole firewall, find all my leaks in there, because I know I have a leak somewhere around there, probably from like this cowl, because you know, all the water that runs off the windshield comes down and drains through some channels here, and I think one of them might have broke right there, because water actually comes down kind of where my feet are on the driver's side, which is crazy. And then I think it's kind of doing it on the passenger side, so we'll see. That's one leak that I'll be addressing once I pull all that stuff out. The doors I'm going to leave the way they are. I do plan to like sand them down, redo them, make them a little shinier, take away some scratchings, kind of just clean them up. And then actually the new doors themselves, you know, the part that belongs to the vehicle, get those replaced. These have been through a lot, and this is the good one. So do all that, maybe beef up my hinges again, beef this up. While the wall is out, I'll have a lot of access to the interior of the vehicle there, you know, behind all the sheet metal. I also plan to space these rims out, either get like an offset rim or a spacer for now. I want to move these out at least 2 more inches so that I can cut the wheel wells, push them out 2 inches, and gain that much more room for box. And then I'd be able to come straight up with the box. So that's my thought. We'll do that on both sides to gain like 6 inches of box width. Gives me some more possibilities and things I can do. and make the Jeep probably a little safer for rolling over if it's got a wider stance. And I'd like to put a new axle underneath the rear with disc brakes. So I mean, there's a lot on the list. So you guys will be taking along for the ride. But that's a brief rundown of where we're at. So you can see there's a lot of wasted space on the sides there. So I'm going to be utilizing all that for this next rebuild. So that's kind of the thoughts. We'll be moving forward on that pretty shortly here. So the first thing is going to be definitely ripping that wall out. So look for that video as it comes up. We also got a this drop hitch because I just bought a trailer for the Jeep, and we'll be using that to do lots of things. So I'll be probably including a video of me working on the trailer. I have some things I want to do to it, but this gives you guys an update where we're at. No longer gonna have this wall, I think. So that's that. All right, YouTube. So in order to start my wall build, I needed a trailer, so I went out and bought one. So this is my new trailer, a little 5x8 utility trailer, rated for 3,000 pounds. That's including the trailer weight, of course, but it's a pretty sweet little setup. Jeep tows it just fine. That way I don't have to borrow any vehicles if I want to go get lumber or take the old wall to the dump after I get it ripped out. So I'm gonna actually make this part of my first video of the series for the Jeep wall build, because this trailer right here is a big component of making that happen. So we already started doing some modifications. I'm still working on it, but I added a little box here so I could store straps. Got it all bolted down to the frame here so it's not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna start putting tools and things in it. Already got a hitch modded and put on there. I'm gonna break out my welder and be doing some changes. This basically has this big tip gate for basically driving things up into the trailer, and I don't really need to be able to do that, and if I ever did, I can always run plank. But I really hate how tall it is and how it sticks up crazy high past the rest of the trailer, so I'm actually gonna cut it down shorter to match this trailer level here. So it'll be pretty much the same. So you guys will see that. So I'm gonna modify the tailgate. I'm also gonna put some protection on the wood as soon as it's done drying. I power washed it a few days ago. I got this trailer used, well, actually new, but it had been sitting out at the dealership for over a year. And so they sold it to me for a really good price because it's obviously been in the weather. So I got a good discount, ended up getting it for $1,500, brand new, no miles on it. So I'm pretty happy with that. So now we got something to haul stuff around with. So the only other thing I gotta do is I want to get the trailer lights working with the Jeep. The trailer itself works, but the Jeep for some reason isn't. So I got a new little module that I wire into my tail lights. Hopefully that does the trick and gets this thing working the way it should. And then the only other few mods I may or may not do, I wanted to put a step here, like an actual piece of angle iron, maybe, but I have this sticker, so I might just skip that because this is a decent step. But they sure have some terrible welding here. You can see the ground right through those welds if you look closely. So I might touch those up or not. And then I wanted to weld some little cleats on. Just take some like little bits of sticks of metal and like weld a piece and then bend them out, little tabs, and I have something to tie rope to so I can shoot rope across if I got large enough loads. So those are some of the ideas. Should be a fun little trailer. We're just gonna play with it in this video, get you guys kind of excited for the wall build. And if you haven't seen, we've already started tearing equipment out. So the back of the Jeep is pretty empty. And I didn't get video of that. It was a little bit more of emotional time, just ripping this thing apart. Really didn't want to, but you guys know that the Jeep suffered from a lot of water getting into it that I had not really known about until I had found a ton of damage. And so this wall is coming out because I don't think the wall itself got too much damage, but everything around it did. And there's so much work into just getting it cosmetically nice again the way I had it, that I decided might as well rebuild. I'm ready to move on. This build's been in here for 3 years. So we're gonna be starting these videos this year, getting our kickoff for 2020. It might be a somewhat slow build, but I'm gonna do my best to get you guys in-depth video of every step. And that's why I'm getting this trailer, and that's what we're gonna be doing. So this is that module I was talking about, wired in here probably back in the early 90s, and it's not doing anything for me. So got the new one, gonna wire it in. So we'll be working on this for the next few days. I'm just putting an hour or two after work, getting it set up. On the inside of the Jeep, we're leaving the doors the way they are. They're beautiful. I'm just gonna probably sand them a little bit, restain them, and get the actual new doors themselves, since these are so torn up. And this is the good one, but it's got so much damage. So I gotta get some doors painted up. So that was another reason for the trailer. Now I can carry a new set of doors to the paint booth and get those done. In here I want to redo the interior, like the headliner and new carpet again. Gonna obviously redo the wall, so we're pulling out this old wall, saying goodbye to the 6 order for the 612s. So a lot of things going on. So yeah, anyway, that gives you guys a rundown of where we're at. I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna mod up this trailer just to kind of show you guys what I'm up to, and stay tuned for the next several videos, because we're gonna be using this trailer to haul all the scraps out of that old wall. It's gonna be awesome. So I gotta get to work here. So as you guys can tell, it's pretty tall. I don't really like it. It's a bunch of wind resistance, and I don't really need to have a ramp this long, so I'm just gonna go ahead and probably cut it just yay higher than the rest of the trailer, just to kind of give it something cosmetically. I don't know. As you can see, it's going perfect. This is exactly what I was going for. Get all the cuts made, and it's sitting pretty damn level. It's close enough for the girls we go with. It'll weld. So next thing is going to be the welding. So I'm just clean off some of the paint here, get it ready, and then I will be very happy with that. It looks much nicer to me. Alright guys, so we did get the back finished, but the time and weather have kind of stopped me from doing much else for a little bit. But I figure you guys seen enough. I can do a little fabricating. I'm not the best welder in the world, but I got it back together and it looks good. So it'll be very nice. Now I can just reach in, get in there however I need. Looks good to me, and this is exactly the kind of stuff that I've looked around for quite a while, and I got super lucky on this. So that's going to complete this video. I really hope you guys start tuning in for the build. I know like the first few videos people don't watch as much because they start catching on as the builds progress. So that's why I kind of threw in some of this filler stuff, so we could you know, get the word out that the Jeep is about to go under the knife, and the wallets in my Jeep will be in this trailer very next video. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, it should be fun. Very happy with this little trailer, so appreciate the support, guys. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment. If you guys got suggestions for the new Jeep build, go ahead and leave those down below. Until next time, guys.